Today marks another defining moment in the continued journey of our university towards global relevance. Transformational education and impactful scholarship. I am particularly delighted that this conference brings together brilliant minds from diverse fields and different parts of the world to deliberate on the advancement of multidisciplinary research and industrial innovation through cutting-edge engineering and technology. At ABUAD, we have consistently maintained that education must not be theoretical alone, but practical, entrepreneurial, research-oriented, and transformational. Our commitment has always been to produce graduates who are not merely certificate holders, but problem solvers, innovators, creators, and leaders equipped to respond to the rapidly changing realities of the 21st century. Today's grand challenge is that include energy transition, climate resilience, smart infrastructure, digital transformation, healthcare technology, and food security. Demand multidisciplinary collaboration and strong academia industry partnership. At ABUAD, we are intentional about positioning engineering education and research as catalysts for national and global development. I am proud to tell you, in the college, we have designed our trajectory as a college within the university to influence the society that we are and the global society by achieving some milestones.
I've had a number of projects that are specifically focused on hydrogen, and the presentation I'm going to give you today is drawn from across these projects. In total, for hydrogen alone, I've had over £2 million in grants, and for adding that to projects that are related to carbon capture, we've had over £4 million in grants for the last 5 years. Okay, so these are just examples of some of these projects I will look at. Yeah. So going into the presentation, I wanted to first of all start by saying the things you already know, that there is climate change, and climate change is caused by greenhouse gas emissions, basically. And you have this nice graph from IEA, where they have said that if we don't take any action, we are going to be facing a catastrophic experience by 2100. 2100 is just 5 years down the road. But if we can take very serious actions from now, we can avoid this sort of catastrophic incident with respect to the Earth's surface temperature. On that basis, a number of technologies are being proposed that can be implemented, to deliver this outcome. And you can look at it from different directions, either from the direction that we mean we have a maximum global warming of 2 degrees or below that. Okay? So, but whichever case, what is important is that a key solution for delivering decarbonization and avoiding climate change is something called fuel switching. Fuel switching means, because most of the CO2 that we are dealing with is actually coming from burning fuel. So one way to avoid all of that is to just switch from the type of fuel we are using today to a different type of fuel that is cleaner and doesn't pollute the environment and all of that. So fuel switching is very important. We often talk about renewables, which is great, but most of the renewables, the standard renewables, solar and wind, mostly produce electricity, but there are sectors, there are industries where you can not use electricity, based on today's technologies.
Employment generation, again, once we have more of this pipeline, right, we create a much more larger ecosystem, right, then we can begin to solve our local problems in Africa, and then, of course, we can also scale it to other areas, Asia, South America, and even in the Northern Hemisphere, in the global North, because we can compete from a cost perspective. Why is it now that North America or the global North subcontract some of their call center roles? Philippines is doing a lot of virtual assistance. India is in call center roles. All of those things. If we build the critical mass, right, in the African context, and we are well skilled, we own the technology, and we can provide a lower entry point, also like what the Chinese is doing from a manufacturing perspective, then we are also going to be able to, gain access to some of these wider markets, and over time, lift ourselves up from our economic problems.
I want you to take what you have learned there, you put it into use, and within the year, by next year, we will come back to review what we have achieved through what we've learned or what we've gained through this conference. Once again, I want to charge you. One thing I want to charge you about is the fact that as an engineering student or engineering academic, our problem is not only social. We have problems around us every day. All the tools we are learning, the AI, and all the blockchain, all the technology that we are learning, it is for us to look around us and solve the problem. Don't think that the problem that we have only is about social media. So that is why everything we create oftentimes, you think that it is by creating content, by social interaction, that you can only make the money. No, there are lots of problems around us that you can use the knowledge, you can use the lesson learned through cutting-edge technology to actually solve. That is what our keynote lecturers have taught us.
People of the Fountain.